Good day, I'm Maria Luisi Decena from BSY12, and for today's video, I will present to you some important details when you're doing or going to do an online presentation. But first, let me define what online presentation really is. Online presentation is a prepared speech or talk in which a person or a group provides information, gives new ideas, or introduces a new product through a video call or conference. Online presentations are usually done in a business setting or for educational purposes like this. So in this part of the video, I will enumerate some tips that the learners must know when delivering an online presentation. These tips are the combination of my personal takes from my experiences and gathered tips from the internet. These tips might help you to have or to pull a concise online presentation. So, the tips that I'm going to mention in this video is also connected from the pre-task, which is the interview. So, for my tip number 1, ask for suggestions. When you're trying to pull off something to present for business or for academic purposes, make sure that you have at least 2 to 3 options. Be open for suggestions and brainstorm as a team. By doing this, you can decide well for the next step you will make. Tip number 2. Don't hesitate to ask questions. Clarify. Most of the online presentation is done by group. In this case, don't hesitate to clarify things to your group. Discuss everything that is being misunderstood and come up with one united idea. Tip number 3. Use legitimate sources or references for your presentation. In an online presentation, we are tend to surf the net for references or ideas that can really help to our online presentation. So, make sure that you're only going to use credible sources for the content of your presentation to avoid misleading and confusing spread of information. In addition, make sure that you will credit the information taken from the credible source to its rightful owner. Tip number 4 is simplify your slides. Make each slide readable and use simple terms for the words. Place the text in the center of the slides because at some point it displays incorrectly at the audience end. Tip number 5 is do tech prep. Even before the pandemic, we're already using technology to communicate, research, and present data. Before the presentation, make sure that the condition of your devices are completely fine, the internet connection must be stable, and the files must not be corrupted or broken. Check before you present. Tip number 6, your clothes matter. In a business presentation or a thesis defense, the attire is well observed. Use formal attire as much as possible. Tip number 7, make them feel that you're enjoying the presentation. In this case, you will catch the attention of your listeners. Put a smile on your face and don't flash a worried look. Tip number 8, beware of your pronunciation and tone while presenting. This is just to avoid misunderstanding during the discussion. And tip number 9, regularly re-engage the attention of your audience. Your presence must be felt even though it's just an online presentation. Ask them if they have a question or if they want to clarify something. If you notice that the atmosphere is getting dull, pull a joke or make a humor. Tip number 10, thank your audience and prepare yourself for a possible question and answer portion. The questions are usually saved for the last part. Be prepared and don't panic. Remember what you've discussed and answer as precisely as possible. Make yourself clear. And that's the tips that I can share with you when you're going to do an online presentation. Again, this is Maria Luisi Decena from BSY12, and I hope that you've learned something from me from this video. See you on my next one. Bye!